Hello and welcome to Confessions with Coda. Today we are going to talk about a program that I am proposing to help find homes for my more spicy cats, as well as the boys that are coming in through For the Boys. At the end of the video, I have included pictures of each of the mother cats and Gunsmoke for everyone to enjoy. Hi, and welcome to A Soft Pause. Today we are going to talk about a program that we are thinking about doing. This is my friend Michelle Romanello.
Hi.
You've seen her once before if you saw the Cuddles capture prior to her spay. Michelle and I have been friends now for 12 years,
At least
13 years. We've known of each other longer than we've been friends because our boys played baseball together in the same town on the same league. So we sat next to each other on bleachers for probably a year or two before we really became friends.
Yep.
The reason that we became friends, or what started the conversation, was that I'm an occupational therapist. Michelle's a physical therapist. I had started doing occupational therapy with senior citizens at a hospital in Boston, and they were trying to develop a pediatric program, and they needed someone to work with pediatrics. So I offered to go back and get a little bit of schooling and became an autistic specialist for them, but also worked in pediatrics, and then ended up tearing my knee. If it's wobbling, it's because Archie and Karsdorf are playing underneath the stand. Tore my knee up when I fell on the ice to see a patient, and was not able to move around well anymore to do the work I needed to do with autistic children on the floor, and was complaining that I probably wouldn't be able to find a job. And Michelle happened to be the rehab director for, at the time, Western Connecticut Healthcare.
Right.
Yeah. And she said, I'll hire you. And so I started working with Michelle, doing home care with senior citizens. So the reason, and you may recognize the last name because Michelle is the mother of Dr. Delaney. So Delaney, that's how I came to know Dr. Delaney also. So Michelle has been on this foster journey with me really since it began. We were friends before I started fostering, and she has been there to help me through my cancer journey, and also to be there to help me with, raising and taking care of puppies and kittens, cats and dogs. And actually, Michelle now has kids. Michelle now is an owner of 2 foster fails as well. One that I fostered, one that she fostered, and she owns 2 dogs from rescue situation as well. So we have been on a lot of adventures doing fostering together.
Many adventures.
But I started talking with her a little bit about the For the Boys program, and now we have Gunsmoke here, and we will soon be bringing Maverick in, and I was just talking about cats in general that are adult cats. They're not as cute and cuddly. Some of them, like Cuddles, like Sia, who you have not gotten to see much of because she's a shy girl. Sunda maybe is a different story, but they're not sit on your lap, love you, cuddle up against you kind of cats. They're more, I'm going to stay over here and we can have a conversation, and I certainly want to have companionship, but I'm not snuggly, cuddly, lovey necessarily. So we got talking on that subject, and the program that I'm trying to do with Gunsmoke and saving some of those boys that are out there getting into trouble. And I'm going to turn it over to you now because Michelle kind of came up with another solution, or a possible solution, and we are here today to basically see what you think. And as I've said before with the For the Boys program, I can't do it by myself. There needs to be funding and assistance in order to do these programs. So I'm going to let her pitch it to you and see what you think, and then we'll kind of talk a little bit afterwards about what we see as being necessary there. My plan is to work with Dawes to find homes for these adult cats that are a little bit harder to find homes for, but this is not in association with Dawes yet. We're hoping down the road that we can do that, but right now, Michelle and I have done a lot of rehab together, treating patients, both with occupational and physical therapy. We find that when we put our two heads together, we come up with fairly decent solutions for people. And so we're hoping to do that to help the feline population as well. So I'm going to turn it over to you.
My name's Michelle. I have been a foster, definitely not as
Prolific
as Debbie, but I've fostered all dogs and puppies. My kids have allergies, so they can't have cats. But my profession, like Debbie said, is physical therapy, and I have worked in the senior population for about 20 years. So I have a pretty good in-home care, and so I have a pretty good idea of what restrictions or what issues come up in their houses. And one of the things that we see, aside from the normal mobility and things like that, walking and whatnot, is that they're lonely and they are struggling with depression, and they're anxious. And one of the things that we know as animal parents, animal activists, is that having pets can help decrease some of those social anxieties and the social issues. And I was thinking that it may be a good way to kill two birds with one stone. Can I say that?
Solve two problems with one fix.
There you go.
No birds were damaged in the thinking through of this process.
So we can take care of two problems with one solution. And so I was thinking that we could create a program, whether in conjunction with area rescues or on our own with all of the strays and feral cats that are around, that we would work to link the senior population with these adult cats, because they don't need the specialized care. They don't need to be fed 3 or 4 times a day. They don't need to go to the vet every 2 or 3 months. They're pretty self-sufficient once they're adults. So I thought that we might be able to take some of our foster, stray, feral cats and pair them with our lonely, depressed, and anxious senior population.
Yep. I think that was what she kind of brought to me. And then one of the things that I talked with her about was that through the generosity of subscribers here, a lot who came from the Kitten Academy following Cuddles over, they were really, you all were willing to provide help in any way that you could. And that Cuddles came with a very large endowment, filled my car, and that we've gotten a lot of really great things here at A Soft Pause since then, both in monetary donations. We've gotten Maverick's neuter covered now, which is really wonderful. And then also the special gifts that you have sent over for the kittens when they go home, for the mothers when they go home, which I think is really wonderful. And so we were kind of talking that, a lot of these seniors do not have a lot of disposable income. They're on a fixed income. They are, not getting assistance from family members a lot of the time. And so, it's a little more meager for them, and mobility can be an issue for them as well, just transportation and mobility as well. So, that's where the veterinary visits are difficult, because they don't have a way to take their cats to the vet, unless they put them in a taxi cab, which has its own stressors too. So what we kind of came up with together was making a starter pack to send home with a cat, which would just be a litter box and a scraper and a cat carrier and a bed, maybe a scratching post, a retractable toy, a few of the toys to play with. I know, we have someone who likes to donate some crocheted rings, which the kittens and cats love to play with. We have someone who donates catnip, homemade catnip dragon wing toys, which they all love. The kickers, they all love. So if you have those special toys, some of you have wanted to give a cat bowl or a retractable wand to each one of the cats. We were thinking about setting up just a starter kit that would go home with that cat. And then our hope was that we could get enough donations that we could cover the adoption fees for those cats as well. Because if we get them through DAWS and they come out of their process with DAWS, they are up to date on all of their vaccines. They have been spayed or neutered. They have a chip in place. Who is meowing?
Babies.
Oh, is it the babies? Okay. Mm-hmm. They have a chip in place so that we can locate them. So they're ready. They've been tested for feline leukemia. They've been tested for FIV. They've got all their starter vaccinations, and they're set and they're ready to go. So we were hoping that we could start that process. We have Gunsmoke here, as you know. Gunsmoke, for those of you that don't know, is a young man who has come in off of the streets, and he's been neutered, he's been chipped, and he's been tested for feline leukemia and FIV, and he has gotten his vaccines up to date. So he's ready to go, and he's very friendly. He would make a wonderful companion for someone who wants to have more of that interaction with a cat. We have Cheyenne and Laramie coming right down the pike, who they're very friendly cats. We don't have to have cats that are not friendly here. We're looking at placing a cat with a senior that would best fit their needs. Do they want a cat that's in their face, that's loving and being held? Or do they want a cat? I think I find a lot of times we have men, senior men's a lot of times, they don't want the cat in their face, but they do want to be able to just have a companion in the home with them.
They want it to sit next to them.
They want them to sit over there and watch sports with them, or, but they're not really under their feet. And I have a cat here. You've seen her very, very briefly. Her name is Sia. She's been here for a year now. She is not aggressive at all. She's fearful. She will run. She's going to stay under the bed until she's comfortable with where you are and that you're not going anywhere. But in a year's time now, She's now coming out. She's laying on the bed. She's laying on the couch. She's coming out to eat while I'm still here. She's coming out at night and she's sleeping either on the couch, on the bed, or on one of the cat towers, and maybe doesn't run away when I get up to go to the bathroom or when I get up to do something. So it's taken her a year. We've talked about 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months. But that's your best case scenario. That 3 months doesn't mean when 3 months is up, hey, I'm home, everything's great. We've talked about Coda, my dog Coda. She's been here for a year and a half, 2 years, 2 years, I think now. And she still has fears because she was pretty abused. So that 3 month thing doesn't work for her, but she's a wonderful dog and I'm very glad that I have her. Is she going to sit on my lap and get in my face? Probably not. But she's gotten closer and closer now to where we can love her. And that's my hope for Sia as well. And
those other cats that are like Sia, or
the other cats like Sia.
Gunsmoke.
Yep.
Gunsmoke.
Yep. Maverick. Cuddles. Actually, Cuddles. Cuddles is not really cuddly, but she's not going to be under your feet. She's not going to trip a senior. She's not going to be in their face while they're trying to feed them and risk falling over them.
She's not aggressive.
She's not aggressive, but she wants to be loved. And Clover, who was just adopted, same way. She wants to be loved. She wants to be cared about. Clover's a perfect example for cats that they're not showing their best here in my home because I have a lot of cats. And they don't really want to share with other cats. Cuddles doesn't want to share with other cats. She really would like to have her person and not have other cats around. And so, I think that those are the cats that we're looking at potentially getting out with the seniors. The really friendly, loving ones too. Because just like us, Michelle doesn't want a really cuddly, loving, squishy cat.
No.
I do. So we're going to want different cats. So I guess we're just putting it out there.
Yeah. If you have thoughts about kind of the program in general, it's not started yet, but it's something that we want to do the legwork on and try to get it off the ground. We have to make it available to everyone of all different, ages, still seniors, but different ages and different financial situations and different types of residences. If we're able to pair up a cat that's not in a home situation with a senior who needs a companion, it doesn't seem like it would be any better of a fit.
Yeah. And I think Michelle has been here, Michelle is not able to foster cats or kittens because of her family's allergies, but she is here a lot and helping here with the cats. So she knows the different personalities of the cats. She sees the different personalities of cats. She knows mine are jerks. But she's also she's still actively doing physical therapy. So she's really great at reminding me of, hey, so-and-so would be really good for this type of senior. I do end up here, as you know, I tend to get the spicier cats that people a lot of times don't want to take a chance with. Even the pregnant moms, I have had pregnant moms come after me. I've had them doing whatever they need to do to protect their kittens. And they haven't learned those social cues to really do well with living in a typical adoption situation. But what do we do with those cats?
I think that's the key. I think, there's just so many cats, and there's so many kittens, and kittens are small and they're cute and they're cuddly and they're funny to watch and all of those things, but you know, they're also not well mannered, and they run under
Have
people's
sharp claws,
feet,
and they,
yeah, exactly. And so
jump on people, and as we know, if you know, we know, as we get older, our skin gets much more frail, and they can't handle that. Besides the fact we're talking seniors, so you know, if we have seen 80 and 90-year-olds who they're going to live a long time, and they're lonely, and they don't need to have that kitten. They need to have the 10-year-old cat that has nowhere else to go. And you know, as we're moving now, believe it or not, as warm and yucky as it's been outside, we are moving more towards the cold weather again. What do we do with a Cuddles? What do we do with a Sunda? That is not necessarily going to be that typical cat that you can come and see all of the cats available and reach in and love them and pet them. It's not going to go well. It would be much better if we could match them with someone who we know their situation, and to be able to just provide some warmth and loving and consistency for the cat, and some companionship for the senior. So I think at this point, we're just going to open it up to see what my subscribers think, and you know, spread the word. And I'm encouraging everyone to, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel. If you have something to donate to help with this cause, I would absolutely love that. I am at about 915 followers right now, and I have had about 3,200 hours now. So on YouTube, if you get 1,000 followers and over 4,000 viewing hours, you become monetized. And so I would start to be able to make some money from doing this channel as well. And any of that money that I can earn from doing this channel, I can put back into that program as well, and just make it better for these cats. So we're reaching out to you at this point. If you have questions or suggestions, please write them down below. Like the channel, spread the word so that we can get more followers, because we just need that funding now. I think we know how to do it on this end. We're getting pretty good at doing it on this end. We just need to be able to have an avenue now to get them out there. And I think, you know, as you guys know, I'm not working right now. So I am one of those people that does not have very much discretionary income. But I do have time, and I do have availability. And I think Michelle and I are invested in going and meeting those seniors and seeing what they need and who would best fit their needs. And I'm open to doing transportation for them to follow up on any of those shots or visits that they need to have, so that they can have that companionship in their home if they don't have the resources to have it without us. So let us know what you think. My thought was to call it the Cuddles Co-op, since it all started with Cuddles. And I think we just are ready and willing to see what you guys think and what your suggestions are, and any roadblocks that you could see happening. So thank you for joining us for a soft pause. I hope we can get these adult cats into homes that they love. And we're looking forward to starting a new journey with more things to talk about.
Yep.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you for joining me for a soft pause.